Hi, I'm Gary, and if you know me well, I'm very shy, I'm very quiet, and I'm a man of very, very few words. So YouTube is great for me because I get to learn new important life lessons. I get to immerse myself in the most unique experiences, and I get to meet all kinds of people around the world. The best part about it is that I get to do it on YouTube without having to interact with anyone. So I love it. Now, one of my goals in 2022 was to start a YouTube channel, and clearly that did not happen. Why is that? Well, according to the Myers-Briggs personality test, I am 90% introverted. So I'm super, super shy, I'm super quiet, and I am just a very, very I'm just a very old and boring soul. So starting a YouTube channel where I have to talk and engage is not exactly my cup of tea. And I don't even know where to start, really. But I really want to do it before 2022 ends. And it's already December 31st, so I don't have a lot of time left. But I want to do it. So in order to do that, I need to find some inspiration. And to motivate myself, I was really curious about how other successful YouTubers got started. Fortunately for me, YouTube has a list of the top 10 trending videos. So I took a look at the top 3 YouTubers on the list for last year, 2021. And they are Mr. Beast, Dream, and Mark Rober. So I read their bios, I watched some of their videos, and there were 3 things that stood out to me, which helped me overcome my fear of starting YouTube. So the first one is experience, and this can either be deep knowledge of something or something that you already know how to do well. The second is experiment, and understanding the importance of trial and error, and that it's really, really hard to get things right the first time out the door. And the third thing is execute, because nothing can happen unless you just do it. So what does this all mean exactly? Let's start with Mark. So Mark is an engineer and inventor who creates videos about science and gadgets on YouTube. And he has an engineering background. He was actually a professional mechanical engineer by trade. So naturally, he has a lot of deep knowledge and experience about science, and that comes across in his videos. And if you look at some of his videos, he has a bunch of different creations and inventions. So I've seen the glitter bombs, I've seen the Jello pool, and I saw the one where he created the life-size Nerf gun. So he's constantly trying to create new things and experimenting with new inventions. But he wouldn't be so popular today if he didn't just upload his first video, which was a Halloween costume that he created. It was like a DIY project. And after he uploaded that video, he basically went viral. So how about Dream, right? So Dream is a gaming YouTuber who's known for his videos on a video game called Minecraft. So it's no surprise that he has a lot of experience on Minecraft, right? So he knows the tricks, he knows all of the tips, and he's one of the best in the Minecraft community. So creating videos about Minecraft is super, super easy for Dream. And actually, if you scroll through his channel, you'll notice that he experiments with different types of videos. So there's videos on how to play, there's videos on challenges with different collaborators, and even to today, he still continues to experiment, and he's always trying to find what works best. Even though he created his channel back in 2015, his popularity only started growing after he started to upload regularly. So all of that consistent execution is one of the reasons why he is one of the most popular gaming YouTubers today. All right, so last we have Mr. Beast. So a lot of people already know him because he's super, super popular. But Mr. Beast is a YouTuber who's known for creating these challenges and stunts that always gives out a lot of money as rewards and prizes. And every time he uploads something, they always seem to get millions and millions of views. I actually think that his experience is in creating viral YouTube videos. I read somewhere that he spent a good chunk of time studying how YouTube works, like, which thumbnails works best, which titles people click on, and some of us are just scared of even posting one video, but he has a deep knowledge of YouTube that helped make him the exact opposite. So before he became viral, Mr. Beast also had to experiment just like the rest of us. So in the past, he's created different types of content. Like there's gaming videos, there's videos estimating people's wealth. It wasn't until he posted a video counting from 1 to 100,000 that he actually discovered that he had a talent for creating videos that people are addicted to watching. So that brings me to my last point. He was only 13 years old when he posted his first video to YouTube. And if he didn't post that viral video counting from 1 to 100,000, he wouldn't have become the YouTuber he's known for today. All right, so 2022 is almost over. Like I said, it's December 31st. So there's not much time left for me to cross off one of my goals. So I had to really sit down and focus on those 3 exact same things. So I actually had a really hard time figuring out what it is that I have deep experience or deep knowledge of, because I just don't see myself as a true expert in anything really. So instead, I had to ask myself, what is something that I know how to do well? Now, having worked in corporate America as an engineer for over a decade now, it really messed me up mentally. But there was one silver lining, and there was one thing that it taught me how to do well, which I'm super grateful for. And as an engineer, whenever you build something new, you always had to give a demo or a presentation of what you just built. So time and time again, I had to give demos and presentations just like this one. And so I was able to train myself to become confident in giving presentations. And they've always been very well received. So thanks to corporate America, I have a lot of experience with presenting information. So I'm going to use that to my advantage, and I'm going to use that to boost my confidence to start a YouTube channel. Now there's always one thing that holds me back, and it's just that I have no idea what my channel is going to be about. And I am a bit of a perfectionist, and I also want to get it right and perfect the first time. But the 3 YouTubers showed me that nobody gets it right the first time. And in order to know what is working and what's not working, you really have to start somewhere, and you have to experiment, and you have to keep changing. So I brainstormed and I narrowed down what it is that I was interested in. So going back to the fact that I am 90% introverted, I also happen to be very inquisitive. So it occurred to me that I am actually really interested in learning about the people around me. Like, why do people do the things that they do? What are some ways of doing things differently? What's going on in the world around me? So I'm going to focus on that for now. Maybe it's the right path. Maybe it's not the right path. Maybe it'll change. Maybe it won't. But the truth is, nobody gets it right the first time. And it gives me a lot of confidence to know that, if I just start somewhere and experiment, I will hopefully find what works for me. All right, so rather than just saying that I'm going to start a YouTube channel, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to just pull the trigger and just do it. I'm taking a leap, and I'm just jumping right in. And this video is a result of that. All right, so I hope that was helpful. If you're also interested in starting a new project, a new YouTube, a new business, a new startup, and maybe you're not feeling the most confident, hopefully the 3 points will also help you. Starting something completely new is already very scary, but it's a heck of a lot easier if you start with something that you already have experience with, or if you start with something that you already have done many times before. And the truth is, not everybody gets it right the first time. So, stop worrying about perfection, kick perfection to the curb, and just experiment and keep changing until you find what works for you. And lastly, just do it, because none of the YouTubers would be where they are today if they didn't just pull the trigger and take action. So focusing on those 3 points was how I was personally able to overcome my fear of starting YouTube. And this video is the result of that. So I'm going to go now, and I'm going to go and cross off my last goals for 2022. And this is my very first video. Let's see where things go. And for now, bye-bye.